All right, so good day, everyone.
Good day, sir.
Good. So today we'll be taking a look at percentages, how we would express a decimal as a percentage or express a number as a percentage of another one. All right, so can anybody tell me what a percentage is? What does it mean? What does percentage mean? So we could say that a percentage, so a percentage, go ahead, Alison.
This a percentage would be like something over 100.
Something over 100. Is
out of 100.
Out of 100. Okay. So a percentage, we could define it as any proportion in relation to a whole, in relation to a whole. Right? So for example, suppose I had a circle. Right? That is my circle. And I cut my circle like this. What was that? All right. So I cut my circle like that and like that. Right? How much of this is shaded? Let's shade this spot alone. Now,
So
as a fraction, all right, that's now we jump in. As a fraction, how much of it is shaded?
A quarter.
Shaded.
A quarter. Or we can write that as 1 in 4. Right? 1 in 4 is shaded. So 1 in 4 is shaded. Now, the trick is to get this to a percentage. How do we change the fraction to a percentage?
Multiply the fraction by 100.
1 over 4
Right.
multiplied by 100.
So is a quarter multiplied by, well, we could write it as 100 over 1. That is 100 over 1. Right, to make the fraction a little easier to multiply. We could cross divide. So this is 4 into 4, 1, 20, 100 is 25. So this is just 25 and we attach the percent. Right, so it's 25% is shaded, as someone said earlier. Very good. Now, what about changing a decimal to a percentage? So if I was to ask, so example 2, change 0.456 to a percentage, or express that as a percentage. How would you do that? Go ahead, listening. Aha. All right, so we had to start back studying. Remember, this decimal is already a fraction, right? This could be written as 456 over 1,000, right? Because we could move the point this way 3 times, and we could write it as that over 1,000, and we could divide down and all of that nice stuff. But what we are interested in is, well, we know that this is a fraction. This and that is equivalent. You would agree with that, right?
Yes, sir.
Are they the same thing? Yes, they are. So all I need to do is multiply by 100 according to you all, and I will get my percentage. Right? And well, we can do the multiplication. We can cancel off some things, and zeros could go, and we get 456 divided by 10. And remember, we just divide by 10, that will just be 45.6, and we attach the percent. Now, there was an easier way to go about doing this. Since we realize this is already a fraction, all we need to do is move the point 2 places this way. Because we can multiply by 100, that's essentially multiplying by 100. And remember, multiplying by 100 is when you move the point 2 spaces to your right. Dividing by 100 is moving 2 spaces to the left. Or dividing by 10 is moving 1 space to the left. Multiplying by 10 is moving 1 space to the right, and so on. So this would just be, after we move the decimal point, 45.6%. And that is the answer. Right? All you understand how to change from decimal to percent?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right, all we do is multiply by 100. Right, if you want, you could have done the longer way and say, well, you could ignore the decimal points and do 456 multiplied by 100 and then add back the decimal places after, and so on. That is unnecessary when we're dealing with multiplications, but with powers of 10. I remember we went through that whole thing. Right. So we know how to change fractions to a percentage. We know how to change decimal to a percentage. Right. So try these for me now. So exercise. Change the following to percentages. So change the following to percentages. So number 1, well, 1, 2, I should change those to percentages for me. All right, so let's take a look at the solutions. So what is the answer for number 1?
1%.
1%.
1%, you sure?
10%, sir.
Stop guessing. Now, this could be written as 1.0, or it could be written as 1 over 1, right? This is 1. And all we need to do is multiply it by 100. That's 100%. Oh, you see that?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is 100%. Number 2, so this is number 1. Number 2, they told us 0.43. How much percent is that?
43%.
43%, sir.
Good. Number 3. Number 3 is a third. Let's just do a third multiplied by 100. And we could write this as 66.
33.
Sorry, 33. 33.
33.33%.
33.3%.
Yeah, 33.33. I'll take 2 decimal places. Right? Number 4. Number 4 right here. Number 4 is 1/8. 1/8 as a percentage is how much?
12.5%.
12.5%. Right? So everybody understand how to convert decimals and fractions to percentages?
Yes,
Any
sir.
questions on this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Questions? What was the question?
No, sir.
No questions. Okay. Right. So what we want to do now is to go back. Right. So converting percentages to decimals or fractions. right? Well, we could convert it to a decimal and then to a fraction, or from a fraction to a decimal. Everybody remember how to convert from fractions to decimals?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see. Okay, so suppose I tell you I have 67%, and I want to convert 67% to a fraction. Convert 67% to a fraction, then decimal. All right, so how do I convert 67% to a fraction? I'll write it as a
So put
fraction.
it over 100, sir.
It over.
Right, yeah,
Yes,
this is
sir.
a
And then you just
67
break it
over
down.
100. Well, what is 67 divided by 100?
If it could.
It could.
No,
like
sir. If it could.
If it could break down, no, it cannot break down. I don't think it could break down.
No, sir. I said if it could break down, then you break it down. But if it can't, then you leave it like that.
Well, all right, very good, yes. All right, so how do I write 67 over 100 as a decimal?
So 0.67.
0.67. Oh, you got that?
Divide 67 by 100.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Just dividing 67 by 100, moving the decimal point. So it's like this point right here, and it's moving it twice this way. All right, so it's 0.67. Good. And that is essentially it. That is how we convert from fractions to decimals. All right, so you'll take a look at some more structured questions tomorrow. But I would like to give all some questions to try, and then we will call it a day. So exercises. Number one, we of course be converting the percentages to decimals and fractions, right? So we want 12% to 17%, 46%, and 4. All right, let's do 4%. All right, so go ahead.
So
Okay, so let's take a look at the solution. So what is 12% as a fraction? Well, we could start by writing it as 12 over 100. Can this be broken down?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Into what?
6 over 50, sir.
6 over 50, but can this be broken down anymore?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
3
Yes,
over
sir.
25.
Yes, sir.
3 over 25. Okay, lovely. Right, so 3 over 25, but can we write this as a fraction? No, sorry, not as a fraction, as a decimal. What is the decimal one for it? So this is part I, part double I. What is the fraction? What is it as a decimal?
12 as a decimal would be 0.2, 0.12.
12%. 12% is like 0.12, right? Okay. So 0.12 is the answer. Right? Because remember, that it is 12 divided by 100. Right? So all we need to do is move the decimal point 2 spaces. Right, number 2. What is the solution for number 2? 17%. Well, we could say that is 17 over 100. Can this be broken down?
No.
No, it cannot.
No, sir.
And what is it as a decimal?
0.1.
7.
0.17. Number three is 46%. What is 46% as a fraction?
Twenty-three over
23 over
50.
23 over 50, good. And what is it as a decimal?
0.46.
And finally, number 4% as a fraction is what?
One over 25.
1 over 25.
All right,
1 over
yeah,
25.
we can start with the 4 over 100, and then this would be 1 over 25, good. And what is it as a decimal?
0.04.
0.04.
0.04. All right, so this is it for today. Any questions on these things before we go? So we saw how to change fractions to decimals and decimals to decimals to fractions, and how to change it to percentages and vice versa. All right, so no questions. Everybody's okay with it. All right, so thank you for coming. That's it for today, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
I sir.